Hello everybody, this is Simeonski again, and today I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know about events, how to create them, what are they for, what are they good for, what can you use them for. So let's go for it. Alright, we are inside our maker room and we are looking... What are we looking for? Events. So there's different kind of events. And let's type in events. So we have actually 3 different events, chips that we will use. We will not use the old ones. We have an event sender, an event receiver, and an event definition. What do these do? It's kind of self-explaining. The event sender is sending an event once it's triggered. The event receiver receives an event, and the event definition, of course, defines an event. Why do we need this event definition? Let's start with the event receiver, because this you can always use, and you have different events that you can receive. So let's check out the events that you can receive. You have some events that I'm not really using. Consumable purchased. What's happening if someone purchases something? Consumable used. What's happening if someone consumes something? Then this is important, the player joined event. That one you will need quite often. It's a player joining the room, player leaving the room, triggers the event. Player left. I'm not sure what the difference between this is, but yeah. Room authorities changed. This is important for some... yeah, this is hard to explain, I never use it. Room authority is something that people that have a better device kind of can become room authority and then trigger some events for everyone. But I don't really understand how this works and I'm not using it yet. Room key purchased. Yeah, if someone purchases a room key. This is one important thing. Room loaded. This will be something that's happening right when the room starts. This is, for example, you can use to trigger animations or anything like that. Room reset is kind of room loaded. It's kind of the same. Test event is something you can send out with your toolbox. This is also very helpful. This is basically just an event that triggers when you want to test something, like I use it for pistons or something like that. And the update 30 Hertz is sending out a signal every 30 Hertz. So it's a very fast, basically it's always sending out yeah, like at a really high rate. It's basically an event that's always triggering, let's say. So then this is the events that are there at the beginning, and there will be more events once you put in some chips. That's just for the sake of showing this. Add a Boolean chip. And now you have this Boolean here. The event receiver will receive more events. And there's this. And there will be a lot of these coming once you have more chips. For every chip variable, you will have another one that's called variable changed for any variable. So this can be helpful if you don't want to connect. If you want to trigger something once, this will be turned from false to true, or if a number in a integer variable will change, you can trigger an event from that. So, what is the normal way I would use this triggering system, or this event system? It's super helpful, and let's give a very basic example. So you can create new events by just putting an event definition chip somewhere, give it a name, let's say light on. So now we have the name light on, and then you can just set the event receiver, look for it, and you have a light on. And once someone triggers the light on event, let's connect the light to this. As always, light. Where is it? The normal point light, as we always have. Make it very bright again, that we can see it. Okay. And receiver, turn on. Turn it off for now. And then so what this basically helps with is if you have a big room and you maybe want to trigger one action from the other side of the room or from a totally different place, then these event senders and receivers are super helpful to make things more easy. I will put it next to this now. I will put a button. And when I push the button, okay, I will put it next to this now, just it's more easy to see. But you could put this anywhere in the room and then just have it trigger the event. By using the event sender. So, and connect it. So if you press this, the event sender will send the event. And you have your new event light on. You can trigger it locally, which would be for the player that's pressing it. But you have other options here which will come in handy. For example, you might want to use some events to trigger for all. I use this, for example, if you choose all, to trigger a message, like trigger an event that's called message, and then it triggers for everyone, and everyone will receive a subtitle, for example, at the same time what this one person is triggering this. So this will be helpful for some things. I, for example, did like a Who's Gonna Be Millionaire game or something like, yeah, it was, yeah, I was using this. And I was able to just do something there. I will show you how to do this. So that there was kind of a moderator or something, like the game master or something, and you could get the game master role by walking into a special area. And when this game master was going into this area and receiving the game master role, everyone was notified this and this person is now the game master, and then also the player that was going for it was going into a special area, and everyone in the room was notified this person is now the contestant, something like this. So this is something you can do with this quite easily, but for now let's just test. Yeah, the light on. It's basically, yeah, I press this. This is sending out an information, event, and this event will receive it. And also I can trigger a lot of different things at once with this, because I can put out as many of these event receivers as I wish in the room, and then different things will be triggered. Right now it's just I'm pressing this and the light turns on. So super easy. So let's turn off the light, just for now. So this would be the main, okay, I probably have to do it like that. Okay, this would be the main way you are using these event senders and receivers. But you can do some and you can add some stuff to that. For example, for my example I had before with the player name, you could, for example, add a value called player to your event, and then you can see already the event sends out the event can receive player data, some player data now, and will also send out the same that it's receiving here. So with this you can do a lot of different things. You can get strings that will be sent to all of these, or player data. For example, I could, for example, in the example with the millionaire game, I sent in the player that entered the area to become the contestant or the game master, and it would send out the same data here and send it to everyone, so they could read the name of the person who is the contestant or the game master. So with this you can do a lot of cool things. What else do you sometimes need the normal event receiver and sender for? One other example that I'm using this a lot for is to, for example, give subtitles to a player when he enters the room. Like, for example, there will be an example in my full example of gameplay that will come in later, but I will show you now how to do this. So this would be something: if a new player enters the room, you want him to have a subtitle that says hello or something, but you want it only for him and only for him basically, and only when he enters. Normally you could do it in a way, let's say title, players subtitle. So the normal way you could do this, of course, if a player enters the room, you could just use the room loaded thing and then show the player subtitle. Let's call it hi. So what is the problem with this? The problem with this is this only works for like one player experiences. Like if a player enters a room, he will get the subtitle hi. This will not work for multiplayer experiences, especially if some of the people will come in later or will be invited or something like this. So what you need to do here is to change the value to player joined. Okay, and you can already see now this is giving out a player name thing, which we won't need. But you could use this, for example, to do this these announcements. Now you can easily just, for example, do this and then change the player to a string, and then maybe make an announcement for everyone. Bam! Simeonski joined the room. But I don't want to do this for now. I just want that only so that only the player that joins will see will see the announcement. So how do I do this? I have a chip. I could also do this with checking if this is local player, but there's a chip that's called if player is local. What does that mean? And if it's local, I will have the announcement. So what does that mean? If player is local means it will check the player that enters. Now it's none because no one is entering. And if the player is local, it means basically if the player that enters is yourself, then then this will continue. If the player that's entering is somebody else, which is not local, which is not yourself basically, then nothing will happen or something else will happen. So this is how you can just trigger something for people that are entering your room right when they enter. Yeah. That's basically it. That's basically what you need to know about event senders and event receivers and event definitions. Thank you guys for watching again. As always, like and subscribe and visit my extra room that I built to show off the things that you can do and to give you a little bit insight, especially when the circuits come up, that you can just check out, make a selfie, post it, whatever. And yeah, see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.